lychee slicing 10 times faster? You gotta be kidding. I mean, yes? No? Let's test and find out. Alrighty, hey everybody, Steve here, and we have Lychee Slicer Pro. We're on the resin format that we have here, and what we end up having is this big print on my Saturn III Ultra. This is a big base, and for those of you who are wondering, let's just go and kind of give you a measurement from one side to the other to kind of give you an idea of what this is across. It's about 4.7 inches across, so that's a pretty decent sized base. It'll be the largest base that I've printed so far, and what I ended up doing is, of course, a bunch of supports on there. If we zoom in, I put some big heavy supports on here, and then the rest are basically medium sized supports. So, and a little bit of work there. But what I want to do is show you the difference between Lychee Slicer Pro 6.0.2 and how fast it can slice this file. So if we go down here to the bottom left, we can see we'll do a resin estimate, and printing will take 8 hours and 48 minutes and 21 seconds. Usually it's a little bit less, 168, almost 169 milliliters that we see there. So a total of $4.09, and I'm using Jam Heat 10K water washable resin, a 17-second burn-in, normal exposure of 2.3, and that's been verified through a number of test prints. So I'm really happy with that, and we have the anti-aliasing off. The times that I've used that, I got some skewed results, so I just leave it off, and all we're going to do is we're going to test and see how long it takes to export this to a file. Our computer, and through the magic of Final Cut Pro 10, we'll put these videos side by side and show you the race between Lychee Slicer Pro normal slicing versus the new 6.2, which has increased fast slicing. It's in the beta version. So yeah, it'll be interesting. So now we're going to go ahead and do the slicing. We're doing a little bit of a fast forward stuff because I know you guys don't want to sit around and watch this thing slice in normal time. We've got a side-by-side view. We have normal slicing, and then we have the fast slicing. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this comes out. We see on the fast slicing, we finished up at 158.21, and we continue on, then we have 213.17. We get about a 15-second difference in regards to slicing. It's not 10 times faster, but this is the beta version of the software, so by the time it comes out, it will probably do a lot better. Now, the other thing we're going to end up doing is taking this base, and since we added all these supports, I'm going to try to print this out and see if we can get a workable large base off of something that used to be a very smaller base. So yeah, we're going to do some adjustments here. We're going to put in some larger supports, basically some heavies, as you can see here, and kind of get like a row, so this thing can really get a good foundation and stick to the build plate and support the size of this base. So yeah, that's what we got going on. I'm going to finish up doing this, and then we'll slice it, throw it into the printer, and the next thing we'll do is see if it came out and how it comes off the build plate. Now, as we're going through this time lapse, if you want to buy me a coffee, check the link in the description box. You all know I love my lattes, and if you buy me one, I will be grateful. So we're almost done with the print. Here we go. Alrighty, we're taking a look at our Saturn III Ultra with our large base, and it's almost done. We can see it's doing pretty well, but when I was looking at this, it ends up that front lip with those large supports. Oh yeah, that could cause some problems. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to open up the enclosure, which is pretty nice. It's got that ventilation system. I did a video review on that. And here we're going to take a look, and we'll pull this off of the build plate and show you. The completed print. Look at that. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I mean, that's kind of tight in there for where those supports are at, but this definitely looks a lot better than the last one. Looks like we got a fully formed base, so that is good. Now, once again, we're using the Jam Heat Water washable resin because these are just display pieces. Now, let's see how this goes. Again, we ended up with some good supports here. Get the ones that are all on these outside pieces. We'll take those off, which are good. Now, let's see how this works. Oh yeah, definitely a lot better. Look at that. Now the heavy supports are going to be, yeah, those are going to be interesting. We might have to, because they were so close to this, I think next time we'll have to raise up the base a little bit more, because that's just not enough, not high enough. But you can see here that, yeah, the simple bracing worked out well. And so we got that. Again, really nice, really easy. And I think maybe we could even adjust our supports on here because we're gonna have to take some nippers to this, I think. Let's just, maybe I even went a little bit overboard with the supports on this. Where'd my other little nippers go? So again, trial and error, trial and error. Oh no, no. Yeah, we can see, of course that's fixable because we can actually get some, oh man, no. It's gonna, those heavies were too close. Oh man. Must be careful. Must be careful. So there we've got our little sliver. So we can do a little bit of repair work on that. So that's not too bad. You know, we got some, still got a little piece that we can put in there. But I think that is definitely fixable. And then of course, once we fill in these gaps, I think what will happen is it will work out, it'll be okay. And then especially after I've got some UV resin that I could put in there that I could glue this together after we do the curing. But overall, about the rest of the base, except for that right there, the rest of it came out perfect. So yeah, I guess third time's a charm. A little bit more tweaking on the bases or the supports. And those heavies on there are probably just a little bit too much. I put too many on there. I am pleased enough. Even with that little piece there, we can fix that. So what we'll end up doing is we'll wash this and get this all primed up, and we'll wash that little piece. We'll repair this with some UV compound, get some green stuff world stuff that I can glue that piece back on, and then we can do some little patchwork there to get this base looking good. And we can sand this down a little bit. So yeah, not bad. Got a few little divots you can see there. And I think if we back off the supports, remember we had them at 0.4 millimeters away from the edge. I think maybe if we go to 0.5, that'll take care of that. But on the rest of it, it looks pretty decent. Alrighty. All right, a little overview of what we ended up doing. We got our big base printed out, which actually turned out pretty well. If this will focus in, you can see the details on there. The problem areas that we had right there, we're able to glue that back. We're still going to do a little bit of repair work on there and get all that cleaned up. But for the most part, we can see this base printed out really, really nicely. So this will do well in our little guy here that we have. So this is the guy that is going to be on the base, and we'll kind of set him up something like that. And I think that'll be a nice base for him to be on. I also have another figure. I have like a Star Wars Gunpla type of walker who's carrying a gun, as you can see here, and this will be a base for him as well. The one thing that we did learn by doing this was that don't put too many heavies close together, otherwise you'll cause some damage, especially with the water washable resin. I'm not sure about standard resins, but water washable resin is a little bit more brittle, and I think that might have had something to do with that. Also, the fact that I could probably use mediums and maybe just increase the tip size and maybe the diameter kind of in between the medium and the large, and I think that would have worked out as well. So now let's talk about Lychee Slicer and the normal versus fast slicing. Now the fast slicing is supposed to be up to 10 times faster or 10 times faster. We didn't see that. We saw a difference of about 17 seconds, if I remember correctly. And then I was thinking back over this as I was thinking about the summary, and I was like, you know what? If I use the computer in a recording live on the computer, that could take away some resources that could be used for the slicing. So what I ended up doing is getting some cell phone footage, retesting the normal versus the fast slicing, and we see the differences here. So let's go ahead and roll that. So I decided to run the slicing test again, but without the computer recording. So I recorded this with my iPhone. As we can see, the fast slicing is going faster than the normal slicing. We ended up with the normal slicing was 1 minute and 55 seconds, and the fast slicing was 1 minute and 29 seconds with a difference of 26 seconds. So there you have the results there. You know, filming outside of the computer and not using the hungry resources that the on-screen recording requires. And we noticed a big difference. Matter of fact, the difference was 17 seconds versus 26. So in other words, we got almost 30 seconds of decreased time when it came to slicing our files. Now, it might not be 10 times as fast as Lychee, reports, but it's still in the beta phase, and I'm hoping that with future firmware upgrades, that will decrease even more, and we can get to those slicing times being 10 times faster. It would be awesome. Wouldn't give me enough time to make a latte, but if you wanted to buy me a coffee or a latte, hit the description link down below, and I would appreciate it. So anyway, that's what we ended up doing. We ended up printing a base. We did some Lychee speed test for slicings between normal and fast slicings, and I think we got some decent results. I still need to work on my support skills, but that will continue on. And with that said, we'll see you on the next video. Peace. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to stay up to date with what's going on with us, The Buried Life, as we're retired in Korea. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.